of St. Peter's. Wesley Jenkins has been in double figures 16 times this year.
Yeah, Wesley Jenkins is a guy you have to be careful of if you're an opposing team because he's an outstanding defensive player as well.
A bunch of players that have played AAU, in camps, in high school against one another. And St. Peter's and Iona show up at the MAAC Championship game and find out they're on the same hotel floor. Not in the same hotel. The two teams are staying on the same floor as one another. So St. Peter's yesterday beats Fairfield. They're in the title game. They go back to their hotel. And they're in their room celebrating. All of a sudden, a couple hours later, who's knocking on the door? Their floor mates from Iona saying, "We've got you tomorrow in the championship game." And a party broke out between the two teams on the same floor of the hotel.
Well, I expect a game to break out between these two teams tonight. Again, we talked about the contrast in styles. In two tournament games, Iona has averaged 89 points. And the flip side, St. Peter's has allowed just 54 points in two tournament games.
A foul call on the loose ball underneath against Iona. John Dunn in his 5th year as the head coach at St. Peter's. This is the first Division I head coaching job he's had, but he was an assistant to Lewis Orr at Seton Hall for 5 years prior to coming to St. Peter's. And that Seton Hall team went to a couple of NCAA tournaments and had as much success as Seton Hall has had of late when Lewis Orr was the head coach there and Dunn was on his staff.
And Bob, we've seen Iona right now kind of employ some three-quarter court pressure, looking to speed the game up. You know, Tim Cluse told us that essentially they might give up a few easy baskets in order to speed this game up, but this is the tempo they want to play up and down, as we mentioned.
Tim Cluse did the old-fashioned way. Not only was the head coach at CW Post for 4 years before taking over at Iona, he was a high school coach on Long Island for 14 years at St. Mary's in Manhasset. So his New York roots certainly run deep. Nick Leon rises up, can't hit, and we are still scoreless through the first minute and a half. Machado with the lob, and it's put home inside by Mike Glover.
Well, we might see that more than once in this particular game. Again, good communication between the two guys. Sometimes it's not even verbal. It's just eye contact and recognizing the opening, and Glover with the athleticism, he can go get it as high as you throw it.
Shot clock down to 8. Samuels looks to penetrate, finds a lane, shovels it underneath, then a dunk. Ryan Bacon able to knock the game as both teams with a two-handed throw down to start.
And that was a good illustration of how St. Peter's wants to play. They'll get that ball, the shot under 10 seconds, but they'll be patient enough to find a good one.
Leon from the corner. Got it.
Now, if that's working, transition for St. Peter's, Iona might be in for a long night. Iona likes to run screens and rolls. They like to run curls for Kyle Smythe, their deadly three-point shooter. And we take a look again. Mike Glover just gets behind and finding a high percentage shooter. So both of these teams right now are playing their game.
Foul was called on Wesley Jenkins a moment ago. And already Mike Glover's got 4 for Iona. Shot clock under 10 again for St. Peter's.
Yeah, it's a 2-3 matchup, and right now you got to go. You got to get some kind of penetration, get a good shot.
Samuels with 2 to shoot. Doesn't realize it, and now it's a shot clock violation.
Now here's
Murray High School coach Jack Curran. And a foul call on Glover. Glover slid underneath Darius Conley, and he picks up his first.
Now Glover can make the argument he's just laying there. But nevertheless, it's a trip, and that's automatic. Take a look at the scramble for the loose ball, and that's an automatic call by the officials.
Nice. High low pass to Conley. His dunk hit the underside of the rim. It's a fresh shot clock for St. Peter's. Conley tells his teammates I've got it. All is well. But he couldn't quite elevate enough to get 2.
But you didn't get it. but the attack was pretty good. Again, in the short corner, the 2 soft spots of this 2-3 below the free throw line, and in that short corner, it looked like a travel.
Conley simply lost it on the way up. It up. Exactly. You would not have been alone on the crew with that sentiment. White, a fadeaway from the free throw line, and that was a brick.
I'll tell you, both teams may be feeling the jitters a little bit. We played less than 5 minutes, and we've already got 5 turnovers. 3 for Iona, 2 for St. Peter's, and some shots that haven't been close, and others that have been easy that have been missed.
Wide open pick and roll jump from Darius Conley, missed everything as we take a look at the resume put together by St. Peter's. This is the 7th time they've appeared in the MAAC title game, but they've only won 2 previous titles and have not been in the NCAA tournament since 1995. So John Dunn trying to get them back to college basketball's ultimate event, and they are 1 step away. And I think, Len, you as a player played in a program where you knew you were going to the NCAA tournament, regardless of what happened for the most part down the stretch. I mean, at Merrill League, this is Game 7. How much do you think those jitters do play a part?
Oh, I know what these jitters are about. I mean, not to correct you, but tournament in order to get there. This is what college basketball is about. It's one and done. And I understand that. We were the number 4 team in the country in 1974 playing the number 1 team, NC State, for the right to go to the NCAA tournament. Now imagine that. And only one of us went, and it wasn't us. But I couldn't imagine in a 32-team field, there were not 28 teams better than we were, but unfortunately they changed that rule because they saw the absurdity of it the year after and expanded the field and more at-large teams. We certainly would have gone that year. But I know exactly how these teams feel right now. This is it.
Boy, Machado with a great crossover to get to the goal. And there is a lid on the basket for both teams right now as he couldn't hit the layup.
Yeah, now the difference was that in that particular game, we scored 100 points. NC State scored 103. So there weren't too many jitters there. It was just a battle of putting the ball in the basket and playing pretty solid defense, believe it or not, even despite the score.
Jaron Beelan, strong drive. Beelan with double figures against Loyola and Fairfield in the quarters and semis here at the MAAC tournament.
Well, he's St. Peter's leading scorer in this tournament, averaging about 16 points. And you can see he's a terrific slasher going to the basket. And look how tightly Kyle Smythe is being played. St. Peter's does not want him to get any airspace to be able to launch the threes because he's a guy that can bust games open.
Machado spins into a double team, still finds Rodriguez, and he's fouled. And throw it as hard as you can, but Rodriguez, 1 of 2, using that system, and now a travel at the other end. 4th turnover as Beelan jump stop in the lane. So St. Peter's has the lead, but it's been sloppy early. Already 7 turnovers. We have yet to play 7 minutes.
And I think what's happening right now is Iona, even though they haven't been as efficient as they have been on the season in scoring, they're starting to impose their will. St. Peter's taking some quick shots. We've seen them run the shot clock down below 10. But when they take those bad shots, it's usually because it's a quick shot.
Machado backs it out with 8 to shoot. Triple teamed in the corner and lost it out of bounds.
Yeah, the St. Peter's goal with Machado is to keep him out of the paint because he creates havoc.
Beelan from the corner. He's got a 3.
That's nice penetration there, and the kick to the wide open shooter in the corner. And again, if St. Peter's can play at that pace and get good shots, they're in good shape. But this is Iona's kind of basketball game. Whether or not they prevail remains to be seen, but they've got St. Peter's playing their game for the most part.
Rashawn Dwight was 5 of 7 from three-point land. 19 points against Ryder. He hits his first 3. Beelan's got another.
I think it's time to recognize that Beelan's got a hot hand. You got to play tag with him a little bit to cool him down.
Jenkins tries a triple. Alejo Rodriguez kept it alive for a moment. Bacon with the save.
Nice little tightrope back.
Another three on the way. McLeon can't hit.
That's a perfect example. Quick shot, bad shot. Move the ball, penetrate, you get wide open shooters.
Rashawn Dwight, just up with a great defensive team.
Personally, I'd coach a great defensive team. Certainly you want guys to be able to put the ball in the basket, but if the game is close down the stretch, you got to find ways to stop your opponent before you can actually find a way to score. And that's what I'd always appreciate. You know, the adage, defense wins championships. Well, it's true for the most part.
Blocking foul call. He puts St. Peter's on top by 4. The winner goes to the NCAA tournament.
See a little pressure right there. This is St. Peter's attempt to control tempo. Slow Iona down, fearful of the transition game and even the secondary kind of transition game that Iona employs.
Shot clock down to 7. On the way, a 3 from Dwight. That comes up way short. Belcher tried to keep it alive underneath. Instead, it's taken away by Von Raymond.
I don't know if it was timely or not, but St. Peter's goes to zone with Machado out of the game, recognizing that the penetration capability of Iona is limited without him.
Beelan pulls up for 2. Couldn't hear the whistle in the corner. Apparently, it looked as if Kyle Smythe may have been on the end line when he touched the basketball. So it stays with St. Peter's. No foul called, but Smythe was touching the baseline.
And Iona sticking with the game plan. We remarked on the last 3 that Beelan made that he's got the hot hand, but he's only a 24% shooter from beyond the arc.
Jenkins spun. The ball bounces back out to Conley. Leon left alone. He's got it.
Nice job just utilizing a screen, one dribble pull-up against the 2-3 zone. Normally, I'm not a fan of screening the top guys of the zone because the other guys, if they're active enough on the wing, they'll come up and cover. But no one there, and Leon takes advantage.
Shot clock under 10 once again. Jermel Jenkins turns the corner. Beelan got his, will play 12 games at the Big East Championship.
That's just like New York traffic, man. It'll be the same as 7th Avenue. Just crowded, people jockeying for position.
Offensive foul call. Conley will be called for a slide.
Part of the game.
A long 2 and a nice job using the ball fake by Sean Armand to knock it down.
And it was a nice job getting the ball to him. We talked about Iona, almost 18 assists per game. They pop the ball around. They get people when they're open.
Iona now has 11 field goal attempts in the game. But to your point, Len, 5 of those 11 have come from three-point land. Conley left alone, and he knocks it down. The St. Peter's defense, though, is not allowing Iona to penetrate the way they're normally able.
And again, they try to push the ball up the floor. And except for that pass in the Glover from Machado, they thought that they had him stopped. They had 3 guys back in the paint. But once again, credit Machado for finding the passing lane.
Raymond splits the defense. Von Raymond caught in the lane. Finds Beelan. His flip won't go, and Pelcher with the rebound.
And again, good job by St. Peter's to get back, but it's the secondary break they have to be careful of. As Glover got a nice look from the free throw line.
Mike Glover, the younger brother of Anthony Glover, the former St. John star. That was his first field goal miss. He's now 3 for 4 from the field. These two teams met during the regular season twice, and Iona won both and won both convincingly. So this has to be a confidence boost start for St. Peter's as Raymond drives it and scores. Beautiful finger roll from Von Raymond.
We talked about Scott Machado. I remember him as a freshman when Iona went down to the Old Spice Classic in Orlando a couple years ago. And he was touted as a scorer with that kind of potential to put points on the board. But Tim Klutz told us when he took over, he looked at tape, saw sometimes Machado would take bad shots and other guys were open, and he convinced Machado to be more of a playmaker. And boy, that's paid dividends, averaging almost 8 assists per game.
Rashawn Dwight pushes to Machado. Too strong. Glover keeps it alive. Eventually, Yvonne Raymond has it. Tied up by Dwight, but Raymond rips it away.
That was one of the few times Iona's gotten from St. Peter's and had an opportunity for fast break off of a miss. But all in all, St. Peter's a nice job of getting back on defense and deterring the fast break.
Shot clock down to 6. Leon bounces it through a double team to Beelan. Swoops in with the left hand. Pelcher taps it back out to Machado. Armand for 3. And a long rebound to Leon. It's like a hockey game. We've got 3 players at midcourt set to jump over the boards. And we play continuous action, no whistles.
3 guys back. St. Peter's only sending 2 guys to the offensive glass. And that's what's thwarting the opportunity to get high percentage shots off the fast break for Iona.
Shot clock under 10 for Leon. He launches a 3 and it bottoms out. Nick Leon with a triple. And that stretches the St. Peter's lead to 7. Leon has 7. It's the largest lead for St. Peter's. Tim Klutz wants to be back in the locker room. Beelan comes up to set the screen for Leon with 10 to shoot. Jenkins now has it, 5 on the shot clock. Wesley Jenkins way short. Ryan Bacon though finds the loose ball. And it did graze the rim, so a fresh shot clock for St. Peter's.
And again, offensive rebounding, as I said, you don't want to default them and just say, okay, here. When you have an opportunity to get some extra opportunities, you want to go get them. And even if you send 2.
Interception by Alejo Rodriguez. Machado, though, has to kick it back outside to Glover.
It didn't have a lot of comfort in that drive as St. Peter's once again gets their numbers back. Just an excellent job, and you credit that to the St. Peter's defense. As I mentioned, jump shots are being challenged, drives have been taken away.
Leon with a little floater. Rashawn Dwight with the rebound.
And again, with Kyle Smythe out of the game right now for Iona, even though he seemed to be more of a decoy in this game because I suspect he was still injured, it takes a little bit of the pressure off of St. Peter's, and they're even more aggressive and challenging shooting.
Machado up, under, and in. Beautiful ball fake. Back-to-back buckets by Scott Machado makes it a 1-possession game.
And how about the adjustment right there? Machado now, they lost Kyle Smythe. Machado's taken over a lot of the scoring burden, even though he is the second leading scorer.
Third 3 of the first half for Jerron Beelan. He's got 11.
And he's a 24% three-point shooter coming into this game.
And UConn on the women's side is comfortably in front, as it looks like they are going to Leon for 3. Connects.
Good ball movement. Wide open look that didn't touch iron. And Leon 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. 10 points.
Machado gets tied up again. And they may have a foul call. Steven Samuels called for his second personal foul.
Take a look, just a little bit of penetration. Three guys converge on the ball. And Jermel Jenkins just a little too late getting to Leon. But that last play, you see how much difficulty Machado is having getting into the paint. Every time he tries to go down the middle, you got three black shirts converging on him, making him kick.
At the other end as well, St. Peter's 35% as a team from three-point land, which was only fourth best in the MAAC, but they're 5 for 8 so far tonight. Jenkins drives, too strong. Offensive rebound though by Rodriguez, and rather than going right back up, kicks it back outside. Machado on a drive. He drove.
He put his arms up like it was a three going down. And again, you see the patience for the most part by St. Peter. Bad pass.
Conley couldn't handle it at first, regathered, and then missed the layup.
And how many layups has Conley missed tonight? He's had a lot of difficulty around the basket.
Machado into the paint, again gets shut down, and it ends up back on the perimeter.
See, right now we talked about imposing will. This is not what Iona wants. They want to be able to push the ball. They want a couple passes, wind up with a high percentage shot. But St. Peter's really getting in the passing lanes, really getting in the driving lanes, forcing Iona east-west instead of north-south.
With those long arms, Ryan Bacon with the steal that time. Leon, pick and roll with Bacon. Here comes Rashawn Dwight, ahead to Machado. Can't lay it home, the tip follow rolls off. Glover with another try, and he'll track it down to the corner.
They maintained possession, but a missed opportunity by Iona. One of the few fast break opportunities they've been able to get. Still no fast break points for the highest scoring team in the MAAC.
Machado for three. Taking the rebound.
And from three is where they'd rather have Machado shoot than in the paint. He's just a 33% shooter from beyond the arc.
Iona as a team, 1 for 8 from three-point land in the game. Jenkins, pick and roll with Bacon. Weaves his way through traffic and scores. And the lead back up to 7. This matches St. Peter's largest lead. White spins inside. Looked like a pretty good pass that Alejo Rodriguez. St. Peter's here in the second half of the MAAC title game. Iona, #1 in the conference in points per game, just under 80 a game. 15 times this year, Iona went over 80 in a game. And they've got 24 points in about 25 minutes. Bacon slips inside and scores. Largest lead for St. Peter's.
What you like about that play, Nick Leon gets a good angle to pass it down the baseline. Not often you see guys get that angle.
And then the rush three at the other end for the freshman Sean Armand.
A 9-point lead by St. Peter's. Iona can't let the frustration turn into panic right now by taking bad shots and quick shots.
Dealing with a drop pass to nowhere. It's out of bounds though, off Rashawn Dwight. Saved nicely by Wesley Jenkins to keep it alive. Shot clock at 10. Jenkins in the corner. Shot clock down to 4. Does he realize it? Leon points it out. Jenkins throws up a wild one. It won't bank home. Bacon couldn't keep it alive, and here comes Machado. Shovels one off. And somehow squeezing it home is DeZouvre.
And that's Iona basketball. We've seen flashes of it, but no consistency. But they will run it down your throats given the opportunity. and St. Peter's hasn't given them much of an opportunity. I think those are the first two fast break points that Iona scored all game.
The drive by Beelan, and he scores again. Jaron Beelan continues his unconscious play here in the MAAC tournament.
But as I said, you can't trade baskets if you're Iona. St. Peter's, the longer they keep this lead, the more confident they become.
Machado to the corner. Dwight for three. He's got it. All of a sudden, Iona starts to heat back up.
Nice job. Saving the ball under the other guy's basket is always a risk.
Brandon Hall just about turned it over. Leon tries to bail him out. Scramble for it. It's a held ball, and it stays. Sporting Goods continuing here at the MAAC title game between St. Peter's and Iona. Iona hasn't been to the NCAA tournament since the 2005-2006 season. That's the last time they won the MAAC. And St. Peter's hasn't won the conference since 1995. So there are no players in this game that have ever played in the NCAA tournament before. And Leon couldn't get a shot off to beat the shot clock. Stripped away.
Iona now getting a little more serious, a little more intense on the defensive end as they try to close this gap.
Machado steps into a three. Long rebound to Jenkins. Dwight tries a triple. That's too strong.
And Mike Glover goes in that possession without even touching the ball, which is, a problem for Iona. He's got to touch it because even if he doesn't score, if he gets doubled, he creates a defensive change and rotation, which opens it up for others. Instead, Iona just content trying to shoot the ball from the perimeter with no success.
Beelan leans in and out. Jenkins tried to spin inside. Taken away instead by Brandon Hall. Hall lost the dribble, somehow got it to Leon. And Leon clears it back outside to Beelan and settles things down.
Well, you remember the adage made famous by John Wooden, be quick but not in a hurry. That needs to be re-emphasized for both of these teams right now in their execution. They're hurrying instead of taking their time and making quick moves. That's why they can't grab the handle.
Leon from way outside. Here comes Rashawn Dwight.
Yeah, John Dunn can't be happy with that shot.
Machado with the lob to Glover. That's the third time those two.
No question about it, St. John's is the headliner in college basketball in New York, but you saw a number of teams here that have had outstanding success this year, and I think it's Steve Lavin or Mike Bray, one of the two of the Big East Coach of the Year.
Beelan unintentionally behind his back to Yvonne Raymond. He tried to dribble it behind his back, and it turned into a perfect behind-the-back pass.
See on the screen and roll right there, St. Peter's very good at stepping out. That time, Jenkins a little bit too late, but he makes up for it with a nice block.
Ryan Bacon might have gotten a piece of it as well. Here's Leon for three. Knocks it down.
Iona getting a little bit of their own medicine from St. Peter's, who again, you thought after the lob, they might have taken some wind out of their sails, but they come back with an intensity on both ends of the floor to push this lead back out to 9.
That matches the largest lead for St. Peter's, and Tim Kluse calls a timeout after he sees his team give it up in transition. The behind-the-back dribble, though, he meant to pass it, right?
Hey, as long as it winds up being a bucket, but they're in transition. Again, St. Peter's, even though they like the moderate tempo, not afraid to take the open looks. Nick Leon doing a nice job just finding open spots.
Well, Nick Jenkins a senior, Ryan Bacon a senior. For St. Peter's, it's a school obviously that does have some pedigree here in the conference. It's the 7th time they've been in the championship game, but you can see they haven't won the title since 1995. And this senior class with Leon and Jenkins and Bacon at the core of it, this group, according to John Dunn, the cupboard was bare. They were a 5-win program before these 3 players signed as a recruiting class for Dunn 4 years ago. So talking to him at the shoot-around, he said that he really can't express how happy he is that these 3 players specifically are getting a chance to now perform on this stage, because they kind of took it upon themselves to come to St. Peter's when the cupboard was bare and resurrect the program, and they've done that.
Not only did they come, but after that 6-win first.
And that foul might have almost been a break for Iona as Jerron Beelan was off to the races.
Well, offensively, Iona not getting good spacing, and that plays right into the hands of an aggressive defense.
All right, Cindy, thanks very much. A couple of surprise stories, maybe in college basketball. Pat Knight let go, and Jawan Johnson, the Big Ten Player of the Year, Len Elmore.
Well, I think the Jawan Johnson story
Set up just down the road here in Bridgeport for the MAAC Championship. So not just 2 teams in the same hotel, the players are all on the same floor of the same hotel. So that created a couple of interesting scenes over the past 2 days as they both won their semifinal games. Beelan inside, he's able to score.
I wonder if they got together and kind of simulated this game on video game.
Well, the first semifinal yesterday, St. Peter's beat Fairfield. So all the players are back in their hotel rooms when they're done, as Iona is able to take out Ryder. So the Iona players go back to the same floor that the St. Peter's players are on and start banging on the Peacock players' doors, saying, guess who you've got tomorrow in the championship game? And a little party took place in the hallway.
You take a look right there, just fundamentally sound. Off the back screen, Beelan gave it up on the wing, took the back screen, little flex cut, and ultimately wound up with the left. But right now, 13-point lead. St. Peter's can smell it. 6 minutes and approximately 35 seconds left.
The pump fake inside, and Mike Glover scores, plus the foul. So a chance for a 3-point play for Mike Glover. Deshaun Dwight just called for that foul for Iona. His second, and the team's second here in the second half. So plenty of fouls to give still here for Iona. St. Peter's is over the limit. They've got 17 fouls. So the Gales shoot free throws the rest of the way. Leon slips one inside to Ryan Bacon. Bacon challenged up front, and a takeaway. Glover went up, as did DeZouvre. Fields slides inside, turned it over. Beelan with the steal. He gives it back. Saved by Fields. The league championship game. Championship week continues tomorrow night, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Jenkins can't get it to go. DeZouvre on the offensive glass. That's too strong. And Nick Leon has the rebound fall right in his hands.
Again, a point-blank opportunity missed by Iona, but they're starting to assert themselves. And you can see more bounce in their step on the defensive end. They see the clock ticking down, and them down 10.
Beelan from the corner. That hit the top of the backboard, ended up in the hands of Conley, and an inadvertent whistle. Tough break for Iona. They were off to the races. But behind the play, there was an inadvertent whistle from Jim Haney.
He may have thought that it hit something else, maybe the score clock, which have been out of bounds, and Iona should have inbounded the ball instead of the fast break.
Machado lost it on the way up, but a foul call. Samuels. Over pursuit of the basketball, gives a lane to Steven Samuels. Beautifully executed by the Peacocks.
Patience. St. Peter's in their comfort zone when they're playing patient half court.
Dwight slashes inside, the follow by Glover. And full court pressure after the made basket.
Remember when we talked to John Dunn earlier today, he said their focus was on Smythe, who's not in the ball game right now, and also on Machado, trying to keep him out of the paint. He knew that Glover was going to get his because he's such a mainstay in the middle. And he felt that his team could live with that, with Mike Glover getting his but shutting down the other two. And that's been the story of the game right now for the most part.
Beelan drives it, swatted from behind. Off the knee of Beelan, out of bounds. St. Peter's will call their last timeout with the lead down to 5.
Very excited, very energized. He wants to keep that energy up to a high level.
It's the championship game of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, better known here in the Northeast as the MAAC. Bob Wischusen and Len Elmore at Webster Bank Arena at Harbor Yard here in Bridgeport, Connecticut. It's St. Peter's and Iona. A 4-point game. Here comes Machado. Outside for 3, Fields. That's off the mark. Offensive rebound kept alive for the moment by Dwight. It's taken away by Nick Leon and a foul call.
Two things at play here. First, we'll go back to the question we discussed early. Would you rather have the good defense or the solid offense? And right now, defense is what matters. If St. Peter's could get the ball in bounds, it would help. But right now, here they are at critical time, being able to challenge a shot. Now watch, Dwight gets it, he puts it on the floor, and that allows Nick Leon, the diminutive Nick Leon, to get down and take it away from him.
9 team fouls on Iona. So this is still a 1-and-1 for Nick Leon, but he shoots 84%. And he's got the front end.
You like that rotation.
Just after the foul was given, if you could read John Dunn's lips to his team on the sideline, he said, guys, it doesn't have to be pretty. Get your heads up. 2 at the line for Leon. 6-point game, 27 seconds to go. And now you probably have to think about 3-pointers if you're Iona.
Yeah, that's what they're doing right now, though. Machado, again, going to the basket. Yeah, I think that St. Peter's is going to rethink that strategy on the last inbounds play. They've got to stay up now. Force Iona to scramble. There you see it.
Now Machado has to catch it deep. And the clock starts.
Nice step out on the high screen.
Armand can't hit. Running back to the line is Dwight. He'll try to 3. That hits the top of the backboard. 2 seconds to go. St. Peter's is going to the NCAA tournament. David finds its way into the NCAA tournament as St. Peter's, for the first time since 1995, are conference champions. They the MAAC title game 62-57. Coming up next, it's the Southern Conference Championship game. Charleston and Wofford. This has been a presentation.